Now, on surface level, this looks like poor research. Maybe it is, but actually, here's the story. Different, unique, cool. I don't know. Slaps? What do the kids say? Fire? Whatever. I was like, why would I do that to myself? Catastrophizing, as one does as a mother alone in a different country. Hey fellow family travelers, I'm back with the rest of our journey through our summer trip. It's taken a lot longer to get through than I thought, but school is intense. If you know, you know. Not sure who's actually watching, but I'm still having a good time putting this together and remembering all the things that we did. Plus, I'm starting to put together pieces for next summer, this summer. And so it is reminding me the things that I learned and things that I don't want to do, things I do want to do, things that I had planned or thought would be, things that I thought would be fun to do for next time. So either way, this is great. This time, we're talking about our trip from Copenhagen to Zadar. In Zadar, we stayed at the Zaton Resort. If you don't know what that is, neither did I until we got there. Now, on surface level, this looks like poor research. Maybe it is, but actually, here's the story. This was part of the trip that we knew from the very beginning. The funny part is originally we bought the tickets to Oslo to land in Copenhagen. We were just not going to do the connecting flight. We were just going to get off and then hop a plane from Copenhagen straight to Zadar because it's very cheap. But my traveling bug got the best of me and we just made it work. And I'm so glad we did. It definitely made it more expensive than it could have been, but I really don't regret it at all. I have learned a lot, but isn't that the best part? When we were looking at Zadar, originally we were looking at houses, like little villas with private pools on the beach. Sounds super fancy because it is, but it's cheap and affordable, but it was a bigger upfront cost because we were staying there for 10 days versus all the other stays we had only stayed for 3 to 5, maybe. So it looked more expensive. It seemed higher commitment. So I overanalyzed like normal. So when we were looking at villas, one of the problems would be that we would have to get a rental car. I didn't want to pay for another rental car, and I would have liked to just find the cheapest option possible. So I'm looking around and I think I find the place. It's a villa, it has a private pool, it has access to the beach. It seemed perfect. It seemed like a perfect place for us to rest after more of a whirlwind type trip and just let the kids be themselves, play in the water, have that summer that they've been asking for while I enjoy rest, relaxation in a mom way. But because it was a bigger upfront cost, I was overanalyzing and I just kept looking. And that's how I found Zaton. I didn't know it was Zaton because I was looking at Booking. And Booking, it had a few pictures on there where it showed the apartment style hotel room, which worked for us. And it had a pool, which looked like it had like a more resort style pool. And it was on the beach. That's all I saw in the pictures. That's it. I thought I was going to a more resort style hotel. Also, it said that it had an airport shuttle, which it does, but it costs 100 euros each way. Yeah. And it wasn't always reliable. So I didn't want to be waiting at the airport for this shuttle, but it was free, I thought. So this is one of the major reasons I thought I was getting a deal by going to this hotel instead. It wasn't what I wanted, but it was close enough and cheaper, so I thought I was winning. Yeah. So leading up to the days to our trip to Zadar, I reach out to our stay and ask about the shuttle, which then they tell me the prices and the situation. And I was like, hold the phone. That is the same price as just renting a car for the whole 10 days. What? So I was bummed. I was a little annoyed. So we had to do that, and it was last minute, so I was a little panicked about it. But we got this cute little blue Kia. So cute. Our plans for when we stayed at the villa was to get groceries, because we'd have to get a car anyway, and just cook in the big kitchen. And it would have been just kind of like being at home, but we just moved to Croatia. I was excited. When we changed plans and went to the resort, it did mention having a grocery store on site and restaurants. So I was like, done. I don't have to cook. I didn't get the prepaid meal plan, which I regret, but I didn't think it was a problem because you could add it any day you'd like. Well, it turns out if they are too busy, they will say no, and you can't pay for you to eat there. So keep that in mind. Also, I did feel like it was really pricey. I think it was 20 euros per person. It is a buffet, but still. So it would be cheaper to buy the meal plan ahead of time by far. There are other restaurants around. Some of them are pretty fancy, and I wasn't in the mood. I wasn't in the mood. It was more vibes of charcuterie boards and yeah, get whatever you want. So the buffet would have been perfect, but we kept getting turned down. And their market was great, but very limited. They closed at weird hours. So we ended up going to the store, which was way cheaper, and it was really fun, actually. And it kind of brought back good memories of when we lived in Germany, so it was really fun. Let's just say that the kitchen in the apartment-style hotel was limited on resources, and it made cooking quite the adventure. Which is fine, except for I was kind of looking for a break from adventure. Lots of hiccups. Also, if you haven't seen our little grocery haul for when we were at Zaton, you should go look for it. I find it pretty funny. I was entertained while I was doing it, so you might think it's funny or helpful. Who knows? The nice part is there's tons of seating. There's an outdoor seating for eating. There's indoor seating for eating. There's a couch. There was 2 rooms, separate rooms, 2 bathrooms. Very nice. Very nice. A laundry. They had laundry, a laundry facility. It was 10 euros to wash your clothes, which to everyone else who was probably staying there for just a week, just probably packed what they needed for the week and didn't need to do laundry, except for maybe an occasional rinse out of a favorite swimsuit. Because, kids, they love the ones that they have. For us, we brought about a week's worth of clothing. And then we have extra sweaters because they didn't dry in Copenhagen. So we had to do laundry. So we had to pay 10 euros. And it was 10 euros to wash. I think it was 5 euros to dry. It was 5 euros to dry because I think people didn't really use dryers. Europeans don't really use dryers very often. Here again, I'm thinking if I was in a house, like a villa by myself, there was laundry in the house. I wouldn't have had to pay for it. So at the end of the day, I definitely spent more money by going to Zaton versus renting a villa. So when I got there, and it turns out that there's people everywhere. You have to walk pretty far to get to the beach. You have to walk pretty far to get to the pool. It has hours. So it's not just like, oh, your kids are early risers? Send them to the pool. outside your door while you're cooking breakfast. That's what I needed. I should have just done it. And I learned. That aside, if I was in the mindset of going to a type of a resort like this, Zaton Resort is amazing. Do they nickel and dime you a little bit? Yes, they do. If you wanted chairs and an umbrella, for 2 chairs and an umbrella for the whole day, that's 35 euros. Sometimes it's 20 euros, depending on the day and the time of day. They have signs. So in my mind, I was constantly comparing it to the villa that was not that much different than the price of this resort, and how the chairs were free. They were included in the price. So I was a little cranky about that. But yes, I did get chairs because I was going to relax. Dang it. And I have a very albino baby. She needed shade at all times. So I'm very grateful that we had the flexibility for that, to like add these unexpected costs in there, but it was annoying, especially since this specific trip, I had done a lot of research on everything else to compare. I didn't know we were staying at this resort till I got there. The wait to get checked in was an hour. We stood in line with many people for so long. It is not the customer service representative's fault when that happens. I think it was just understaffing and poor planning. But whoa, it was a long wait and the kids were so done. Remember, this was supposed to be our time where we just chill, and that didn't help. I was also comparing that so we had to wait a long time to get our rental car. Then we had to drive there. Then we had to wait the hour to check in or so. It was longer than an hour, I swear. And then we had to check in. Versus if we had just rented a car ahead of time so it was ready for pickup, and then drove to our villa and just stayed there. No hiccups. No hiccups. But there were perks. Zaton is actually a giant resort. Yes, they have the apartment-style hotels, but they have also many other styles of hotel spots. You're kind of in little sections. One of the sections is even little mobile homes. One section is for RV and tent camping. There's an area for horseback riding and horseback riding lessons. There's an area with basketball. There's an area for football, soccer. There was a whole new water park that opened up when we were there, which was cool, but still lots of people. There were kid discos. There was an amphitheater, an outdoor amphitheater for shows. There were fairs that happened at night. There was lots of things to do. Most of them you had to pay for everything. There were people with excursion options. There were places to fish. There were tons of places to go on the beach that you were not bothered. It was set aside for this resort, which was nice. There were multiple places to get ice cream and smoothies and food. It was nice. I couldn't help but feel like I would have definitely saved money if I just rented the villa. We did end up doing the horseback riding. Purple one he put down.
Very fun one.
You having fun, Ryan? It's all fun. It's all fun. You ready? Hold on.
Get all taken care of.
My daughter was kind of sad that we didn't learn about the horseback riding until 3 days in, because they have 10-day horseback riding lessons, like a school for 10 days where they teach you the basics. And she would have loved that. And I think it lasted like 4 hours of the morning. And so I would have had alone time-ish, because I still had little children that could not do that. But the older 3 could have done it. One of the perks that we had by staying at Zaton versus our villa is like we were over in this area next to a very small town. In this town, they have a salt museum. I love museums, and I love learning about how people gather food, prepare food, their agricultural, their economics. I love learning what makes that place special, different, unique, cool. I don't know, slaps? What do the kids say? Fire? Whatever. So at the Salt Museum, you could get a tour. We did not want to do that. The tour that was available to us at the time was in the middle of the day, and all I could think is like whiny kids in the heat walking around these salt flats because it was an hour tour. I was like, why would I do that to myself? It just wasn't the time to do that. Could I have forced it? Yeah. Would it have been fine? Sure. But I was trying to make this fun for everybody, especially since this was supposed to be the like kid-centered time. The whole trip, the whole section of Croatia was supposed to be kid-centered. And it was, but I did make them go to this salt museum. I don't know why I just can't not. Also, no, I know why. I started looking around because I was bored. I was tired of the same pool and the same beach by day 3. We did meet some cute little friends that invited us to another beach, and so nice. But like, I'm so socially awkward in these settings because I don't know what the cultural norms are, and I just don't want to be weird, but I think I end up just being weird anyway, so I didn't just let that go. When looking for this beach to meet up with our friends, I found the Salt Museum, and I was like, I can't not go. Why can't I just not go? I don't know, but I had to go. I had to go see it. Okay? I had to go see this salt museum. What is this? We have a whole museum about the salts? Let's go see it. Okay? They even have like a little mascot. It's adorable. So when we first get there, me and my big old camera are out taking footage of everything because I'm excited. You could tell that these women were not really into it.
Look at these. Oh, no. It's for eyes only.
They were not really into it, and because my kids were being kids and touching too much, they got a little feisty. So I had to breathe through that as a parent because I was like, I'm feeling super insecure about my parenting. I'm feeling very judged. But I feel like I handled it well. Like I made that child stay right next to me and hold on to my pants, literally. it's just respect. Like, hey, because you touched and I said, look with your eyes, you now have to hold on to my pants. We're weird. It's fun. We get a ticket to the museum. She asked if we wanted a tour, and I said no. So we got all the tickets to the museum, and we walked across and started. It's so tiny, but so cute and very hands-on. I loved it. It was so cute, so cool. Overall, we had a good time. It was very short, but we had a good time. And then behind the museum, there's a playground, and it had this cool sign that had directions to various places of the world and how far away it is. And a lot of like Disney ripoffs, which I find funny because like in the States that would not fly. You would get flagged so hard. But we saw it everywhere in Europe this time, that there was like Mickey, like knockoff Mickey and knockoff Donald, like, I don't know, plagiarism, copyright, I don't know, maybe they get a free pass. Maybe it's just an American thing. I don't know. I don't really care. I actually like it. So the kids stayed at the park and playground while I went into the shop, and I bought way too much. I bought all the salts. The salt flavors that I thought was good. I haven't even tried them yet. I'm really excited. And I bought bath salt. I bought a toothpaste, man. I haven't tried that yet. I'm a little scared, but I was curious, so I bought it. I bought perfume and cologne. I bought books. I bought something else, but overall, there's this inside this shop. Everything about it, I was like, man, I know somebody who would just love this place so much. But unfortunately, we don't really talk anymore. So I was like, what do I do? I can't just not. Like, what if we talk again? What if we see each other again? Who knows? I don't know. I get a little weird nostalgic sometimes when it comes to like souvenir shops. So I bought some, for a book for me and my kids, a book for her and her kids, and some salts, specifically thinking of her. And she homeschools, so I'm like, this would be such a good learning thing, all the things. From what I know, they don't really travel, so I was like, this is kind of like world schooling, but in your own living room. I don't know. I still have it, though. And just the other day, one of my little people opened up the book, like unwrapped it. I was like, well, do I still send it? Do I send it at all? I don't know. Sidetrack. Anyway, I bought a lot and they loved it. And so they gave me a free salt. They're like, would you like another salt as a gift? I was like, yes. So excited. Like, I just don't know if maybe they don't get a lot of people coming to their shop or whatever, but like I bought a lot. I didn't feel like it wasn't expensive, but it was a lot of things, and salt is heavy. So I don't know what I was thinking, because I had to carry that for the rest of the trip. Since I just made a box to ship all of our stuff from Copenhagen to home, and things were getting a little tricky with that box, you would have thought I would have learned my lesson. I did not. I was now a shopper, and I was buying the things. So overall, our experience at Zaton and in Zadar was really great. The people were so nice. Oh, also to be noted, Zaton does have medical facilities on site. So if you do get dropped off and you don't have a car, there's medical help. How do we know this? Because on the new water slide, one of my children busted their chin open, just sliding down it. I don't know how she did it, but she did. I'm just lounging with the 4-year-old, and she comes around the corner sad, and I'm like, oh honey, are you okay? And she like looks up and there's just blood. I'm like, oh, okay. And so we walked back over to where she was, to the lifeguard. He's got this whole kit. He cleans her up and then tells us, because it's Sunday, the medical facility is closed. I'm freaking out because I'm like, oh my gosh, time's of the essence. She's gonna scar, she needs stitches. Catastrophizing, you know, as one does as a mother alone in a different country. So I'm texting my husband, who's a physician, and I'm like, does she need stitches? Do I need to go somewhere? Do I need to... Freaking out. He's like, just wait till the morning. She seems fine. No, she's not fine. She was fine. We went in the morning, and they saw us right away, and they gave her this special kind of stitch. It wasn't a stitch. So she didn't need stitches, but she needed some kind of special, like, adhesive thingy. And, like, kind of like glue. I don't know. It's hard to explain. So this happened on, like, the second to last day that we were there. So it's kind of good timing, but kind of not, 'cause she couldn't get it wet. So she was kind of mopey, couldn't really get in the pool. We kind of just hung out on the beach and made the best of it. We kind of were all over it by the end of the stay there. We were really done with the beach. We just were. Not my son, for whatever reason. He's a fish. It's fine. But they do have medical facilities. They are really great. And I think it makes sense that they had a doctor on site. Very, very different environment than in the States. But I don't know. It was nice. I liked it. I don't know. So there's that. That is Zadar. That's what we did. We've been to Zadar before, so we already had seen the city. We didn't need to see that this time. We'd seen the national parks. We'd seen the city. We'd seen other parts of Zadar. So really, we just chilled. Was it ideal? No. Was it cheaper than the villa? No. Do I think I'll do the villa if we do this again next time? Yes. But as a all-inclusive resort with all the things and all the adventure for the summer, Zaton is a great place to stay. We did just, for the majority, even though there were all these options, we did just relax. We did just go play at the pool because that's what we wanted. That's what the kids wanted. So in hindsight, for what we wanted at this stop in our trip, Zaton was not worth it. Separately though, if you purposefully look at Zaton and you're going there, I do think it's quite the deal. You get a lot for what it costs. Yeah, and if you go in there knowing ahead of time you're going to be paying for chairs and umbrellas, you're not really mad about it. But if it was me, I would have picked the villa.